Hello, welcome back to Sapling Tarot. My name is Imogen. Today's video could well end up a little bit chaotic, so you have been warned. I've been wanting to make a response to Christine Rose L's video about colour in the tarot, and I saw that video because I saw Marlena's response to it. I love colour. I'm quite an arty-farty person. I like watching colour mixing, like paint mixing videos. I find them very relaxing. And so the intention was for this to sort of be a colour mixing video. I filmed that this afternoon, and that video somehow no longer exists. So what we're going to be doing instead is I'm just going to be like talking you through the colours that I've mixed and painted and stuff. So I did these readings a couple of days ago because I wanted to do a little bit of like prep work stuff, and that involved pulling some of the dominant colours out of the cards that I chose. So I wanted to do that so I could show you them on like a printed out piece of paper, and my printer was not having any of it. These are not the colours that I was going for. I tried changing it to like CMYK and sort of trying to be all like clever with that kind of stuff, but no, it wasn't having any of it. So scratch that plan. So in case it wasn't obvious, this video has had a couple of different iterations already, and I'm hoping that this one will be a little bit easier. I'm using my Thoth Tarot and my Pocket Osho, which I've trimmed. These are two of the more vibrant decks in my collection. These are two of my more vibrant decks. My version of Thoth has quite like muted colours, so I took a picture of the cards, I put them into Procreate, and I sort of colour picked the most vibrant tones out of each card. Oh, I will be using the words tone, tint, shade interchangeably, much to the annoyance of any actual proper artists. I can only apologise. So yeah, so this is the first one, and then these are the colours. Please excuse the horrendous swatching. I was trying to film it at the same time. It was water and paint and ink and tarot cards and all sorts happening at once. So what I really liked about watching both Christine's video and Marlena's video is that Christine covered sort of the more like academic and psychological, and she even pulled out some like books about the occult, and was sort of looking at these colours through that sort of lens. And then Marlena's video was about the personal associations, and I think that part of the main reason why TarotTube is so brilliant is because of the personal, and us bringing our own personal experiences and personal gnosis into our tarot practices. And that's why, tags exist. That's why it's worth watching all of us, not just one person who's the be all end all of tarot or whatever. And so I thought I would talk through my own feelings about these colours, and how I feel like they resonate in my life at the moment. Okay, so on the personal level, this central card, which is the mood of the spread or the mood of the moment, I thought was a really interesting balance of colours that I feel very like personally connected to. I'm quite a blues and greens sort of person. And then with this really, really vibrant yellow that personally I often find myself like not loving particularly. And as we go through these, you'll see that yellow comes up quite a lot. And I've been coming round to yellow in recent years, and particularly seasonally, because it's springtime when I'm filming this. I live in Britain. This is a colour that comes up a lot in some of the first blooms, like the bulbs blooming. At this time of year, you've got daffodils and crocuses and narcissi, and so this yellow to me is like a pure springtime. And then I was trying to mix this blue and ended up getting this tealy colour, but then that ended up being quite like the jade colour of this sword. Um, and I really love this kind of cobalt colour. It was a colour that I was told when I was younger that like it looked really terrible on me. So despite having kind of the natural inclination towards really loving it, I avoided it as a colour to wear for a really long time, because I was told it looked bad on me. And this will kind of be a theme with some of these colours and colour combinations, is things that I was told were ugly or things that I was told didn't go when I was younger, and sort of like breaking out of that. So both of these were colours actually that I was told looked really bad on me, and I've kind of come to, as I've got older, with great relish. And then this is kind of a colour that I'm still warming to, as it were. So as a mood, like on a personal level, this is a really interesting combination of like 2/3 me and 1/3 like growth. And then like in terms of colour psychology and stuff, these bluey greens, like all of these are very like analogous. So like they kind of come next to each other in the colour wheel. And then these colours are sort of quite serene, they're quite peaceful, and then you've got this like bah of energy. And that's kind of how I feel. I sort of feel like coming out of winter, I'm starting to kind of make plans and thinking about next steps. And I may have already mentioned this in the video, but I'd been feeling like I was coming to the end of something but hadn't really put any thought into what that might mean was coming next for me. And so this, yeah, it's kind of like two comfortable colours and one slightly uncomfortable sort of acid yellow colour, but that feels very sparky and kind of initiatory energy. The light colours were really interesting because this is another like colour that I love and a colour that has been becoming like more relevant to me recently. It's really this is like this feels like such an odd thing to say. I've been thinking a lot about mauve recently. Mauve, taupe, taupe, whatever. This colour, this sort of like pale burgundy, pinky, purpley, reddy, browny, greyish colour. And you know, colour nerds will know that this is like a, relatively speaking, like modern colour, and it's been sort of following me around. I'm reading a book at the moment that's set in Arthurian times, and they reference one of the characters having a mauve dress, and the autism really jumped out then, which is like, well, actually, she wouldn't have had a mauve dress, or they wouldn't have had the name mauve then. So, what are you on about? And this is where autism can really decrease your quality of life, because I'm just trying to read a goddamn book. Anyway, so side tangent, side quest, squirrel brain, etc. These colours are like pretty contrasty. This sort of like soft sage green with this soft mucky mauve kind of colour. So even though they're soft colours, they are contrasting with each other in terms of the green to the I'm really stumbling over this colour, but you know, this colour here, which is kind of a mixture of the pinky pomegranate seeds here and the dusty purpley mauvey colour up here. And I know that kind of purples are often associated with like the mystical and the spiritual. So this again sort of feels like what's top of mind for me at the moment is all the things that are in the light for me at the moment are the spiritual stuff, you know, here on YouTube, and trying to make plans for tarot stuff for the rest of the year, and then also the sagey, gentle kind of nature observances and stuff. And green is you know, it's a lucky color, so hopefully that is, you know, a good omen. And yeah, just kind of growing lots of stuff and happy about that. So then these colours in the shade I thought were quite interesting because they are colours that I sort of struggle with historically. So I'd like mix the red and the yellow in these ones to make a sort of orange colour. I couldn't really get the vibrance with the paints that I had, but you know, it's there. I again historically was like told that orange like wasn't a good colour and that it looked bad on me and all of these things, but my brother has always been a very like red and orange person, and he's a Leo. It makes total sense. He's like the main fire sign person in my life, and he's all red and orange, and it's amazing. And so because I love him, I love orange now. And so this is like what keeps me warm, is these sorts of, you know, family connections. And yeah, and then the purple is a colour that I kind of rebelled against because I was like, as sort of like a 7 or 8 year old, purple was like my colour, and then I rebelled against that because it was, you know, that kind of like trying to shake off childhood things and trying to kind of grow up and all of that kind of stuff. And so I'm coming back to purple now. It's still not like maybe my top favorite, but yeah, I'm very much seeing like a place for it in a way that I wasn't really able to for a long time. And again, so you've kind of got this like spirituality thing of purple, and I know a lot of people think of magic as purple, and then you've got this like inner fire. I kind of thought that it was interesting that these were quite soft, desaturated colours, and these were more like punchy colours given the name of the positioning in the spread. And yeah, so then the conscious stuff is this card. And so I pulled out the red and the yellow, which, you know, comically to me at the moment just feel like McDonald's colours. And I've been thinking recently, conscious mind, of I need like a boycott BDS friendly place to get a burger. I don't really eat burgers all that often. I'm not like a massive fast food consumer, but it would be really good if I could like find a local cafe or takeaway or something that does a decent burger, so that when the mood strikes, I can, you know, support a local business and not even be like remotely tempted to go down the McDonald's avenue. And this is where we have tarot doesn't always have to be deep. Tarot can 100% be divining your dinner and reminding you that you need to do some research into local like diners and takeaways and stuff. So that's like my very frivolous doing tarot when you're hungry card pool. And then also there's like the passion and the initiatory ignition type energy that these sorts of like reddy goldy colours, and then this red in particular like reminds me of like the struggle for liberation that's happening all over the world, particularly in terms of like Palestine and Sudan and Congo and all of these sorts of places. And this thread going through the conscious and the unconscious is like, it's appearing in every reading I do for myself at the moment. There's always something. And so this red in particular, as I was painting it, I was like, yeah, we're gonna need to talk about that like thread of liberation and like unlearning, and that action spark that is just running through everything right now, but also, you know, for always. And then this like final pairing of this unconscious stuff is like stuff that I've been working through. I've been doing the Witch's Black Lent stuff about the 7 deadly sins, and I'm going to make a video about this soon because I've been doing a bit of crafting, I've been doing some cooking, I've been doing all sorts of stuff. And I want to talk about like what I've been spending the 6 weeks doing. But in particular, like these two colours, it makes me think about the like the inky blue that I sort of pulled out of the like the shines on the metal and the circuitry and stuff in this card that are contrasting really dramatically with like the reddy orangey fire like furnace like thing. I think this is a really a really intimidating card. Like it's so bleak. Every time I like think about the fact this is my first deck, it really makes me laugh. Because some of the imagery is just so. I mean, it's not like grotesque, but it's just like, oh my god. Can you just picture like little like 13-year-old me pulling this card and being like, oh yeah, that does feel like my life. Laugh. Um. So yeah. So I pulled out the blue and the red, and that's kind of I think where I'm at the moment is like holding a lot of these sparky kind of like anxious fiery feelings, and like the sins that I'm working with are wrath, wrath, wrath. Oh, we're having a great time with words that I don't know the pronunciation for. And then like this kind of inky, again, it's like a color that I associate with myself, but also it's like the color of ink, the color of study. But then also like this sounds really angsty, but like it's kind of like a sad color. It's sort of, you know, my instinct was like, it's the color of depression, but like I'm fine. This is not a cry for help. But yeah, it's just like these two opposing forces fighting off against each other in me, which is my life. You know, I'm an anxious and depressed person, and so having those two things fighting all the time is just my reality. Um, Christ, TMI Imogen. But yeah, so and then again, it's like this kind of like spiritual, peaceful, cooler tones with the like hot, fiery. Hello, dear viewer. This is where the microphone ran out of battery because this video desperately did not want to be filmed. So, thank you so much for watching this sincere clusterfuck of a video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it interesting. Let me know if you would like to see a chapter 2 or 3 of this video with the rest of the spreads that I did. But also, if this was just too chaotic, I completely understand. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're taking really good care of yourself, and I'll catch you in the next one where hopefully things will be a little bit less all over the place. Bye!